Hi, this is Sherry Methling with Ancient Healings Around the World, reporting from Ubud, Bali, Indonesia. I'm a bit sweaty and hot right now. So, be authentic, be honest, be true, and watch your success and prosperity skyrocket. That's what this video is on. How it streamed through me? Well, you see, the taxi drivers on the streets here in Ubud, on the main street, will charge you about 5 to 10 times more than an honest fare. How do I know that? Well, there's an application that I use for a taxi or a scooter taxi, and that's called Gojek or Bluebird. And you see, I went about 10 miles out the other day to a temple on a scooter taxi, and it cost me about 25K. Now, I asked the taxi driver to take me down the road about 1 mile to my hostel. 1 mile would take tops 5 minutes, and he quoted me 100K. 100K to go 1 mile and 25K to go about 10 miles, 30-minute taxi drive. All right, so when you're honest, when you're true, when you're authentic with your word, you're gonna see business skyrocket. Why? You also have all the touristers. They are knowledgeable what the rates are. The taxi drivers on the main strip here in Ubud are struggling to get business. I wonder why. Maybe if you were more honest, had integrity, you would get more business and more money. If your rate was reasonable in comparison to Bluebird, an honest taxi service, to Gojek, an honest taxi service, you will be getting more business, but they're not. I even saw the other day a taxi, Bluebird, being stopped on the main street here in Ubud, reporting, because I saw it with my own eyes. And the people who got in the Bluebird taxi being taken out of the taxi, literally, by the people in the streets here in Ubud, taken out, an Australian and somebody from Norway. Because that apparently is the other taxi people's territory. The people who are lying to the tourists and charging us 5 to 8 times more the price. Not only that, but my first experience here in Ubud, I ordered Gojek to pick me up, and apparently it was in the other territory. I go to get on the scooter, and the next thing I know, my taxi man, the scooter guy, he takes off. He leaves because he was just kicked out of that territory by the other people on the streets, quoting me 200K as opposed to I was quoted 27K to get to my next destination. 200K, thousand, yes that is. Now in American dollars, 200K is about $14 to $15. Okay, so I didn't go with the people on the main street. Why? Because they're not being honest, true, or authentic with their pricing. Not just to me, but to everybody. And they're kicking people out of their cabs and scaring off the other businesses, Gojek, as well as Bluebird, like it's their territory, like they can't run there. I don't know if it's a law here in Ubud or Indonesia, but I think it's absolutely absurd. It's ridiculous and it's insane. People being kicked out of their cabs, I can't even get on a cab. So now I walk to my next destination here on the streets of Ubud. And let me tell you, yes, I have all my belongings right now. There are no streets for me to walk on. I am basically on the street because the streets are consumed with scooters and larger vehicles, but 80% is scooters. But I walk a mile down the road. It's not a big deal for me. When I arrived in Europe, I would walk anywhere from 1 mile to 2 miles to get to my hostel or hotel, depending on what I had to book and what was available. 9 times out of 10, I'm booking hostels, keeping my budget low. As you can see, they don't honk to be rude here. They just honk to let you know that they're passing or coming around you, things like that. So besides that, the whole taxi shenanigans, nonsense, lies, it's okay. It's pretty good here. It's just very hot and humid. So I walked to my next destination, which is a little over a mile down the road, due to the taxi drivers not being honest. no integrity. So it's sad. Not a big deal. Sometimes I walk anywhere from 5 to 12 hours a day, not to my hostel. But the longest I walked from the train to a hostel was about 2 miles, about 45 minutes. Not a big deal. It's a lot easier though in Europe, because here I have no sidewalk. I'm just walking on the streets, and it's very hot and humid, as you can see. Making this real, keeping this live, here in Ubud, Bali, Indonesia, signing out. That's Sherry Methling with Ancient Healings around the world. Taking a little stop here. I have a couple more minutes to go up the road. Signing out. Exhausted. Sherry Methling, Ancient Healings around the world in Ubud, Bali, Indonesia. For my peace.